Coming up, business as usual for Funny Side at Belmont. Meanwhile, Frank will ponder some interesting decisions with Empire Maker. The Horse of the Year flexes her muscles in the Milady. And a smoking Met Mile is our race of the week. It's post time for Long John Silver's Wire to Wire.
Long John Silver's Wire to Wire, presented by Citgo.
Funny Side and Jose Santos turning the Preakness into a runaway. A huge effort here. It is Funny Side, and he's heading home back to Belmont.
June 7th, Funny Side will try to become the 12th winner of the Triple Crown. Welcome to Wire. Jeff Metters along with Randy Moss, and for Barkley Tag and Company. I think no news is good news. They're just kind of flying under the radar up there in New York.
Just taking it easy at Belmont Park. Barkley Tag trying to keep Funny Side healthy and happy. Fitness not really an issue since, of course, he ran in and won both the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. Weather, though, has been an issue at Belmont Park. Steady rain. The track has been sloppy seemingly every day. It hasn't affected Funny Side as much as the other horses because, again, he's already fit. But Barkley Tag wants to work Funny Side on Wednesday morning. Remember, we taped this Tuesday morning, and Tag said he is even willing, if necessary, to ship Funny Side out of town, perhaps to Maryland, to get a workout on a dry surface.
Now to the Bobby Frankel camp, and the weather has really wreaked havoc on him and Empire Maker.
He's really been forced to improvise. He did not want to work Empire Maker on the main track at Belmont Park because it was sloppy. So he entered at the last minute the Jersey Derby Monday at Monmouth. He wanted to work Empire Maker a mile. Why not run him a mile and a 16th for $100,000 against Easy Company? But again, at the last minute, Belmont Park opened one of its turf courses for Sunday workouts. Frankel instead chose to work Empire Maker Sunday in a 1-mile drill against Midas Eyes, which he did. Look very impressive, defeating Midas Eyes in that workout. They scratched then from the Jersey Derby, so right now all systems go for Empire Maker.
And then that's what I'm talking about, a hard-charging fourth in the Kentucky Derby. Skipped the Preakness, and now he's working out at Churchill Downs.
And again, some recurring foot problems there for that's what I'm talking about. He missed last Thursday and Friday training because of some light heat in his right front foot. They had special shoes on both front feet. They'll take them off before the Belmont Stakes. The same sort of foot problems and shoe issues that compromised, that's what I'm talking about, just a touch over the winter at Santa Anita. And there he is at Churchill Downs with trainer Ron Ellis.
And now we have a look at the Belmont probables, and Randy, you're going to find a lot of new names in here.
A lot of new names that we haven't seen so far in the Triple Crown. Both Best Minister at the top, Wild and Wicked at the bottom, trained by Kenny McPeak. Best Minister will have to be supplemented for $100,000. Kalita, Lone Star Derby winner, Dynaver, Go Rockin' Robin, winner of the Peter Pan. You know, a Supervisor, third in the Peter Pan. So they're coming out of the woodwork to run against Funny Side, who will have an incredibly tough challenge in the Belmont.
NBC's coverage now will start 30 minutes later, 5:30 Eastern time. So as a result, Naira has moved the post time from 6:04 to 6:38, and that actually affects ESPN as well, because the afternoon show on Saturday now will have an extra 30 minutes. Here's a look at the lineup. 3-year-old fillies on Friday in the Acorn Stakes. We'll relive some of those Triple Crown memories with the Triple Crown Challenge. We'll also include Funny Side in there. The big show, Belmont Stakes Special, 3 to 5:30 on Saturday, and then the Triple Crown coming up at 7 Eastern time on Saturday. For more, you can go to ESPN.com. Here's how the rest of the show shakes out. 2 rounds of final furlongs. Azariot's in one of them. It was a big Monday at Lone Star Park. And later, our race of the week, the Met Mile. It was a wet one. We'll be right back.
The N2 presentation of Long John Silver's Wire to Wire is brought to you by Long John Silver's Dive into Something New. Citgo, we know you. Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown.
Back on Wire to Wire, final furlong starts out in the Wild West, where the Horse of the Year has not missed a beat.
Zeri going in the Milady on Saturday at Hollywood. The first of our 2 final furlongs is all California, including a lot of races on Memorial Day Monday. Buyer speed figures not available for Monday races, so we pulled them off the graphics, and I'll just verbally tell you the ones that we have, including Zeri. She got a 109, by the way.
Is that a disclaimer?
That's a disclaimer. So let's get started now with the Zeri. Again, in the Milady, she was a 1-5 favorite against 5 opponents, going a mile and a 16th. There were no take-charge ladies in the field, but there was Affluent. Zeri, though, already had outrun Affluent on 5 different occasions, and that's Zeri cruising on the lead as we pick it up.
The horse of the year, Azeri, who's in charge, turning for home. Enjoy is her only danger, and Enjoy is moving up 4 wide, but Azeri is in charge as they head to the top of the stretch. It is Azeri in front by 3 lengths. Enjoy on a winning streak of her own, trying to run her down, but Azeri comes to the final furlong, showing the speed of Ruffian, the class of Lady Secret, the heart of Personal Ensign, one of the greats of all time. This is Azeri!
And look very familiar, Azeri by 3 with Mike Smith aboard, carrying top weight of 125 pounds compared to 114 for runner-up Enjoy. Her 9th win in a row, 7 in grade 1s, 12 for 13 lifetime, winning by her 109. Trainer Laura Desaru also described her as one of the all-time greats. In her next start, she could prove that because it could be against the boys. July 13th in the Hollywood Gold Cup. She's been compared to Lady Secret and Personal Ensign. They both beat the boys, of course, both in Saratoga's Whitney Handicap. Now to Monday at Hollywood, the Gamely Breeders' Cup Handicap for fillies and mares, and what a field. Dublino, the 3-2 favorite against 3 Frankel trainees, plus matriarch winner Dressed to Thrill. Grade 1 at 1 1/8 on the grass with a torrid finish.
Tate's Creek is between horses. Megahertz has 4 to come. Miss Terrible. Tate's Creek and Dublino, and Tate's Creek takes over the lead. Miss Terrible drops out of it. Dublino is a length back in Megahertz. Tate's Creek, Dublino, Megahertz. Tate's Creek has won it.
Tate's Creek is something else. Slow pace, fast pace, good trip, bad trip. It doesn't matter to her. This was her 10th victory in 14 starts. Tate's Creek, owned by Judd Mott, trained by Frankel, ridden by Pat Valenzuela. Dublino 2nd, Megahertz 3rd. It was the 6th Gamely victory for Frankel. The first grade 1 win for Tate's Creek, who went over $1 million in career earnings. 1 hour later, also at Hollywood, another grade 1 on the turf, the Shoemaker Breeders' Cup Mile, which rematched last year's 1-2 finishers, Ladies Den and Redditori. Redditori, the 2-1 favorite. Ladies Den, 7-2, and in front there in the red silks, Special Ring, the 3-1 second choice.
It's down to Redditori and Special Ring. Redditori is on a full-fledged attack. Special Ring trying to hold him off, but Redditori puts his neck in front. Special Ring back to second. Touch of the blues. Redditori!
8-year-old Redditori and Alex Solis edging Special Ring. 7-year-old Ladies Den faded to finish 6th. Redditori, trained by Richard Mandela, was sent to New Orleans for a race in March, but got sick and was scratched. So this was his first start since March 1st. And Mandela said there's also a chance that Redditori will come back in the Hollywood Gold Cup. Last winter at Santa Anita, Redditori won the San Antonio at 1 1/8 on dirt, and presenting the trophy, as usual, legendary Bill Shoemaker for the race named in his honor. Also Monday at Hollywood, the Laz Barrera Memorial, 3-year-old, 7 furlongs. As we pick up the action, King Robin, the 9-5 favorite, is nowhere to be found.
Blazonry has taken over the lead. King Robin watches him run away. Jimmy O is next, then Fly to the Wire, but it's Blazonry, and he's clear by 3. Fly to the Wire up into second. Blazonry, yes.
Because of the hot pace, Blazonry able to rally from last place to pick up the pieces under Mike Smith. Minister's Wildcat scratched. Only the 2nd U.S. start for Blazonry, who began his career in England. Owned by Sanford Robinson, trained by Kathy Walsh. Mike Smith, the winning jockey. The $1 Superfecta, winning numbers 2753, $15,400. One more from Hollywood. We rewind. Sunday's Will Rogers Stakes, a mile on turf, 2-5 favorite Singletary. Languishing, now in 3rd. That's Banshee King in front. Private Chef rallying on the outside, and Private Chef got up to win the Will Rogers at 6-1 under Victor Espinosa. Owned by Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Moss, and what a training job by John Sheriffs. Private Chef's only prior start, a 6-furlong maiden race on dirt in February. Buyer figure 95. Then Saturday at Bay Meadows, the Yerba Buena chiming draws off to win easily, trained by Bobby Frankel, who has a harem of grass fillies. Frankel started 3 Monday in the Gamely, so this was a logical spot for chiming. A 5-year-old mare who had never won a stakes, and our winning buyer for that one, 109 Tori Nakatani. Finally, in the mud at Monmouth on Monday, the Jersey Derby slipping through along the inside. Happy Trail found his happy trail along the rail as he splashes home to win by daylight. And Frankel could have won this one, too, because, as we said earlier, he scratched Empire Maker from this race. Happy Trail is owned by Sandy Goldfarb and trained by Steve Placeris.
Monday at Lone Star Park, $1 million day of racing on Memorial Day. The headliner there, the $300,000 Lone Star Handicap. Of course, this is the site of the 2004 Breeders' Cup World Thoroughbred Championships. We start with the USA. 3-year-olds going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. The question here, could Crown King run down ice and water in the stretch? It took a photo to sort things out, but Crown King prevails. He's now 4 of 13 from McKeever Racing Stable and trainer Billy McKeever. Now to the $200,000 WinStar Distaff. Eagle Lake took the early lead and does not want to give it up.
Inside the 8th pole, Eagle Lake still 2 lengths on Little Treasure, 2.5 to Academic Angel, and Magic Mission starting to run home strongly. She gets to 3rd, but Eagle Lake's going to lead throughout.
Eagle Lake had things her way, holds off the late bid by the field. She gets the win for trainer Cole Norman, who also won the Beck Auto Group Turf Sprint with that tat earlier on the card. Eagle Lake has earned $120,000 here. She's now 11 of 37 lifetime and earned about $400,000 in her career. Now to the main event, the $300,000 Lone Star Handicap. Pie and Burger was part of an early speed duel. Now he has the tough job of holding off the favorite in the stretch, Blues the Standard.
Pie and Burger defying Blues the Standard at the 16th pole. Pie and Burger clear. He'll win the Lone Star Park Handicap by almost 3 lengths.
It was the Cole Norman show. He wins again. Blues the Standard was trying to win his 6th straight. He finishes in a dead heat for 2nd. Pie and Burger is now 2 for 2 at Lone Star Park. He was sent to Norman about a month and a half ago from California just for this race. He won 8 of 9 lifetime and earned about $500,000. The story, though, trainer Cole Norman, he wins 3 races and shared the credit with owner Mark Coronet.
I'm thankful and thank Mark and the owners of Turf Express. What a great day. Is it real? Can I bench myself?
Now, Mark Cornett owns Turf Express. Here's some of the other winners. We mentioned that Norman also trained that tat. See how she runs, won the Valid Expectations. She was the 3-2 favorite. All this just icing on a big day of racing. Up next, Final Furlongs Part 2, which will include the Peter Pan. And by the way, the American Quarter Horse Racing Triple Crown is getting underway. We'll have that story plus a lot more when we come back. Our Citgo leaderboard, fastest Belmont Stakes times in history, the big red machine at the top of the list. Funny Side would like to join them, and if he does that, of course, he will join them also in terms of history and winning the Triple Crown. With that, we segue into Final Furlongs Part 2.
Part 1 was all California. Final Furlongs Part 2, all East Coast, beginning Saturday at Belmont Park with the 3-year-olds in the Peter Pan Stakes. Now, the Peter Pan is a 1-turn, 1 1/8. And those wet conditions in New York were certainly a big issue there. The track was sloppy. Nachismo, the 6-5 favorite, broke very slowly in the 6-horse field. The second favorite at 5-2, Alley Sweep on the inside. He set the pace, but he was no match for the surprise winner.
Go Rockin' Robin is the leader. Alley Sweep under a full-out drive, losing now ground to Go Rockin' Robin. Farther back, Supervisor is 3rd. Go Rockin' Robin under the line at 13-1.
By 6. And how about this? Go Rockin' Robin, a New York-bred son of distorted humor, just like Funny Side, owned by the Swartz family, trained by Scott Swartz. And Go Rockin' Robin may tackle Funny Side in the Belmont Stakes. He's not a Triple Crown nominee, though, so it would mean a $100,000 supplemental fee. The Buyer speed figure only a 93. Now to Churchill Downs and Saturday's early times Mint Julep handicap. Fillies and mares, 1 1/16 on turf. Quick Tip, the 8-5 favorite with the hot combo of owner Will Ferris, trainer Neil Howard, jockey Robbie Alvarado.
Kiss the Devil digs in. Quick Tip on the outside trying to get to her. Kiss the Devil. Quick Tip lunging at her, not quite getting to her. Kiss the Devil hangs on.
Another 13-1 shot. Kiss the Devil just holds off Quick Tip under Lonnie Mesh. The second stakes win for Kiss the Devil, owned by Churchill Downs chairman Carl Pollard, trained by David Vance. Last year, in this same race, Kiss the Devil was 7th, and Quick Tip finished 5th. This year, their $2 exacta paid $88. Now, we stay at Churchill, and we get a sneak peek at the 2-year-olds. In Monday's Kentucky Breeders' Cup, the Steve Asmussen-trained Cuvée dominated. That's Cuvée in front, and got away last from the starting gate. Broke a little flat-footed. Cuvée, owned by Winchell Thoroughbreds, the family of the late Vern Winchell, who died last fall at age 87. Cuvée was also ridden by Lonnie Mesh, who won the race before that we just showed you, the Mint Julep. Cuvée bred to be a quick one, a son of Carson City. 5.5 furlongs in 104.45. May run next in the Bashford Manor at Churchill July the 6th. That track's closing day. And what a better way to end Final Furlongs than a Memorial Day victory by the veterans. Watch that horse, the Gray, rolling down the lane. 8-year-old Dancing Guy at Miami's Calder Racecourse. This is the Memorial Day handicap, and this is the 5th time that Dancing Guy has run in this race. And he won it by a neck, as you'll see at the finish. He's owned and trained by 80-year-old Newcomb Green, ridden by veteran Roger Velez. Dancing Guy also won the Memorial Day handicap in 2000, and in his other appearances in this race, he finished 2nd, 4th, and 4th. And he's a Florida bred. Next week, final furlongs will last about 30 seconds. Only 2 graded races. Saturday, the Sheepshead Bay Handicap, a Grade 2 at Belmont Park, and also at Churchill Downs, the Grade 3 Louisville Handicap. Jeff?